whether written or digital, that we're becoming more food aware. And there's this grassroots movement of saying, I want to get back to where humans used to be healthy. Because remember that graph or diagram that I actually asked you to picture early on? I want you to picture that line or those dots just sloping all the way down to the right. And we're on about 1 right now. We have never been as sick as we are as a country. And really, if we go back, we're only looking at a few hundred years difference. 300-400 years difference. For some people that have been living a more primitive or indigenous life, I was just reading out of a Dr. Weston Price. He was a dentist in the 30s. We'll talk about this more in a later podcast. But in the 30s, he was really interested in native peoples, indigenous peoples, and versus modern peoples, because a lot of the tooth decay and basic loss of health that he saw in the 1930s, he felt was related to poor nutrition. And so if everybody around him is living more of a modernized life in the 30s, I need you to picture, well, how can he compare it to? Where can he test his theory? Well, he ended up traveling all over the world and seeking out Native American Indians and Eskimos and just traveling all around the world, indigenous people all over the globe, Aborigines. He went to Africa and Peru. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. Actually, the name of his book is, I thought I had it right here. I don't. I'll post it. I'll post the name of that book, but it's absolutely fabulous. Anyways, he started looking at people groups that were still living actually very close to almost a agricultural revolution, or agricultural revolution, more of a lifestyle. These people were still hunting. They were still gathering and foraging. They were still living seasonally. They didn't have flour and sugar and Pepsis and candy bars and everything at their disposal. And he was able to find ways to become introduced to them. And then they allowed him in and he was able to take pictures. And some of the things that he was able to verify is, wow, their skeletal system is so much different than the modern man of the modern societies. In the 30s, they had these big, beautiful smiles and large nostrils and bright eyes, and the arches of their mouth were able to accommodate all of their teeth, and their teeth were straight, and they were very lean, and they had very, 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 if any, incidents of chronic disease or illness or obesity in their tribes, arthritis, all of these things. They were very, very healthy people, and they were living a long time. And he would go to some of the same tribes that maybe didn't live so far away from civilization, that they had accepted the help from their local governments, and they were accepting in this flour and sugar and vegetable oils and foods or pastas or rice or whatever it is. And maybe they didn't even grow rice in their area. So these people that went from a completely natural eating and local eating style and patterning just in one generation. The parents looked amazing and were incredibly healthy. The their face started narrowing, their noses started pinching in a little bit. Their teeth were so crooked, if they were in their mouth at all. He found the closer these primitive or indigenous people to their areas lived to modern society, the more decay and degradation of health was apparent. Like, he would look at a tribe that maybe had like 400 members in it and not be able to find a single cavity or a single person with arthritis or a single person with mental health issues, right? And the closer and closer he got to maybe tribes that accepted more governmental aid in the form of food or medicine or schools or whatever it was, they'd find like 50% of the people had tooth decay or health issues. Children with arthritis in every joint of their body or in their spines, barely able to walk. And they were dying left and right back then of tuberculosis. Their immune systems were just absolutely racked. So when I say to my clients that we want to get back to a more natural way of eating, this is what I'm talking about. Right now, at no other time in the history of recorded man have people moved so little. And here in the United States, it's just ridiculous. We have so many different ways to move, whether it's a treadmill or just go out your house and jog up and down the street or walk on the street. We even have in the digital age, yoga on videos and trainers on videos. And we have bike races and organized community climbs and all sorts of things, yet we're not moving. And our postures are suffering. If your posture is bad, can I just tell you that your digestion system is going to be screwed up? If your digestion system is going to be screwed up, that means that you are probably not even absorbing the nutrients that you're eating. Even if you're trying to really go back to a clean and whole way of eating, if you have horrible posture and you're not moving your body and you're sitting in front of screens or sitting on the couch or whatever your issue is, there is a super high chance that you are not absorbing those nutrients like you would hope that you are. Also, blue lights. Blue lights are affecting how we sleep. These blue lights are found, in our TV screens and our phones and everywhere else. And we're starting to see things on the market now that are glasses that you can wear in your house that block these blue rays and tell your brain, hey, guess what? Lights out. I'm going to be going to sleep soon. It used to be not too long ago that when the big light in the sky went out, it literally meant lights out. You'd only burn your candles or have your fire going for so long because you didn't want to waste it. You go to bed. And when that natural God-given light bulb came back out again in the morning, you were getting up again. Chances are you were probably having a good night's sleep. Something that most Americans do not get. Most Americans do not even get 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep. And I'm not even going to go talking about electromagnetic fields or EMFs and what we're starting to see and learn and get real concerned about cellular damage due to all of these EMF fields. A lot of science, a lot of stuff that we talked about and covered today, but I just have to remind you, this is what poor health looks like. The people that I see on a day-to-day basis, I see people with not enough sleep, poor immune function, obesity, people living sedentary lives. I see lots of chronic illness, heart disease, diabetes, hormone imbalances, anxiety, depression. I see it all. The dementia, it's just absolutely amazing how far we have come in really a short time when you're considering how long humans have been on the planet. Whether or not you're more of an Adam Eve believer like myself, or you have a picture of the world's been around for a long time, or the world's been around a little time. This crack of time that I have discussed with you today, from the agricultural revolution to the information age today, that's not that long. All the way back to the agricultural revolution, we're guesstimating is 10 or 12,000 years, right? There's some people that say that this earth has been here for 2 million years, 3 million years. I don't even know what it is now. Or some Christians say 100,000 years or 10,000 years, whatever. But if you look from that point forward, and then you look at that point backwards, these are new. These are new. This is like less than 1% of the time that we've had humans on the earth. And these things we can control. And that's what I talk to my clients about of getting back to farming, whether it's your own small efforts at farming or supporting local farmers, or if you don't even have local farmers that you feel that you can support or a CSA, then you can at least when you go by the grocery store, try and buy local to your state. I live in California. I don't want avocados from Mexico. I appreciate the fact that their climate can grow avocados all the time. But my climate here in California where I'm living, I would like to just purchase them in season. So these are things that you can do. And sticking with the whole foods, getting the refined sugar and the refined flours and the chemicals and the pesticides and the preservatives and the additives and anything else that they color your food with, get it out of your life. If you want to restore your life back to a time where it can be a 10 on the scale, that's in your hands. That's absolutely in your hands. A lot of the conditions that I did list, those may be bullets, but it is up to you whether or not you're going to squeeze that trigger. Okay. So I'm here to help. Obviously, listening to podcasts like myself is a great start. Figuring out some things that you can apply. If you need extra help with the application, or if you want to know where you are as an individual, call me. This is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. This is why I am here on this planet, because I just love the fact that I have a place where I can help educate and empower people like you. So go do the right thing. Keep your mind open. Don't be swayed by marketing, because it is everywhere. And put some limits on some things. Put some limits on a little bit of the crazy information age that we are living in. Go outside. Take your shoes off. Listen to birds. Get off your screens a little bit. All right. Have a great day.